Can you really learn to be happy? If you want to know, keep watching. Hey, my name's Desiree, and on my channel I discuss spirituality, lifestyle, and fitness to help you find your health and your happiness. So, can you learn to be happy? Is happiness a skill? The answer is yes. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I've been one for several years. I help people overcome depression and anxiety for a living, okay? So, I'm going to give you 3 ways to help you find your inner happiness, okay? So my first tip is you have to mind your thoughts, okay? Mind your thoughts. We hear this a lot. It's one of the basic concepts of cognitive behavioral therapy, right? And how do you mind your thoughts? One of the ways that you can mind your thoughts is journaling. Journaling is an excellent way to write down your thoughts, to monitor your thoughts, and you don't have to do it every day. Sometimes people get focused on these things that discourage you from actually doing something, especially when you think about doing something every single day. Especially when it's a new habit, right? So you don't have to journal every day, but I encourage you to journal often. If that's 3 or 4 times a week, that's fine. That's a great start. Sometimes every day can be overkill. It just kind of depends on your mood and how well you want to get to know yourself. The more you journal, the more you're going to get to know yourself, the more you're going to be able to monitor your mood and your thoughts. But journaling is a great way to write things out, to help with what we call emotional management or emotional intelligence. It's understanding your moods, your triggers, and a good way to learn about that part of yourself is by journaling. What happened that day, things, how you felt about what happened. That's really key too, because our perception of things and how we receive the information that we're getting often affects our mood. And the same thing can happen to another person, and they're in a great mood, they just got engaged, and they're not even going to be thinking about it. You know, for example, say someone cut you in line at Walmart, right? Your mood, depending on where you were at to begin with, is going to determine how you perceive and react to that situation. And whereas someone who is as far from getting engaged as you could possibly be, they're upset, they had a bad day, they're lonely, they're probably going to react to someone cutting them in line very differently, right? So understanding triggers, what motivates you, all of that can be revealed through journaling, okay? And another thing is understanding your negative thoughts. Understanding your negative thoughts. What do I mean by that? And this is all under the first category of mind your thoughts, okay? One way to mind your thoughts is journaling. Another way is to understand your negative thoughts, okay? And by that I mean, where do they come from? A lot of the things that we think we've heard. You might have an aunt or a parent or a friend or a teacher or someone else of influence in your life that spoke negatively over you. And you're repeating and recording those thoughts over and over and over. And you may not even realize those thoughts are not even your own, So understanding your negative thoughts is understanding where are these negative thoughts coming from? Who are they coming from? What is it coming from? Social media, are you seeing a picture and it's making you envious, or does it make you look at your own life from a poverty mindset because you don't have exactly what that person has? These are the type of sources of negative thoughts that we need to be mindful of, okay? And that's going to help you mind your thoughts. If you really take the time to figure out What is it that I feel like I'm lacking in my life? What do I feel like is out of control, and why? Why do I feel that way? Where did this come from? Why am I focusing on all of this negative stuff when I've got so many blessings to be thankful for? Where are these negative thoughts coming from about myself? You could have heard it in a sermon. I mean, it's just certain things that you can record in your head, or you can misinterpret what someone said, that can make you have a negative feeling or negative thoughts, okay? So the second thing, a second way for you to find your inner happiness, to learn the skill of happiness, is to figure out your life desires. This is really basic, but it's not as simple as we think. It can actually be a dynamic process. And I recently went through this myself, and it was really a blessing, because it took like the simple things that I thought I wanted, and it turned it into something very dynamic and intricate. So find out your life desires, find out your blueprint. And one of the things that helped me personally was Tony Robbins. He has a formula when he's coaching people about helping them figure out what it is they really want out of life, because that translates into fulfillment. He calls it OWHPA. The O stands for the outcome, okay? What is the outcome that you're desiring out of life? What's your blueprint? You know, what is your blueprint for happiness? And again, this is coming from Tony Robbins. I'm not taking credit. I don't want to take credit for something that's not from me, but I really find this helpful when working with myself and with others, because understanding what is it that you're wanting? You know, what's your end game is what I used to say, but I do like the idea of a blueprint. What is the outcome that you want out of life? Okay. For me, it might be marriage and children, right? But I took that simple statement. That was the outcome. But the way that he describes it is, it's not just a thing. What do you want your life to look like? And so I took that marriage and children, and I translated that into, what do I want my life to look like by having a lover? What are the things that I desire? Why do I want these things? That's the next thing. You have your outcome, and then you have the W is the why. Okay? And those two things are important, because they help you dig deeper into what it is that you truly desire. So using myself as an example, marriage and children, that simple statement turned into a whole long list of things that I desire from a lover, as far as doing life with them. You know, the experiences that I want to experience, the things that I want to feel. It really focused on how I want my lover to make me feel. And it was really interesting, because not only what was on the list was very fulfilling and a real true representation of what I want, I was also surprised what wasn't on the list. You know, nothing physical, nothing outer at all, you know. And I was surprised about that. Not that those things are not important. It's just, you will find it very interesting what is not on your list when you really get down to the nitty gritty of what it is that you truly desire. And I want you to focus on why you want those things. And that's the second part of it. So what is your outcome, and why do you want that outcome? Because if you don't understand the why behind the desire for these things, you're not going to know what to do next, which is the H, and that's how. The how, you know, how are you going to get these things? What are you going to do? And once you figure out the how, then you can figure out your plan of action, which is the PA. So it's OWHPA. From my understanding, I could be wrong in that acronym, but that was what I remembered from that session that I listened to with Tony Robbins, was that OWHPA, that the outcome, the why, the how, and the plan of action, okay, to get what it is that you desire. Because a lot of people that I work with experience anxiety and depression because they feel out of control of their lives. They don't know what to do. They feel helpless or hopeless. I ask that all the time on my assessments, which, you know, when people say they're feeling helpless and hopeless, I know that they do need some sort of help, whether that's therapy, even just a quick word from me and encouragement from me. I try to give people value in as little time as possible, especially at my current role. I work for an insurance company, so I'm a care manager, more like a consultant role than actually doing therapy. So we're really helping them, we're equipping them with resources. But I still provide assistance to people who are feeling anxious or depressed about things, or somehow they're out of control. Their life is out of control. They don't feel in control of their lives. Especially in 2020, that was a major thing going on because of the pandemic and a lot of other things that was going on. This was a tough year for a lot of people. So I really wanted to be able to hone in my skill of helping somebody quickly, and giving them, a pep talk and actionable steps that they can do to help themselves right in that moment. When I got off the phone with them, I know I'm leaving that person in good hands, So the third thing that I want you to do is to pray. Okay? Meditate. Whatever it is that you do. I want to encourage you, and I'm speaking to Christians because I'm a Christian. So I always want to insert things that's going to bless my fellow Christians, my tribe. And that is, learn to sit quietly before God. Not always coming with your petitions and your OWHPA, your outcome, the things that you desire, okay? That's so important, to sit quietly before God every single day. Every single day. Whether I do it at home or whether I do it at my church. I'm blessed to have a church that's open pretty much every day for prayer. 7 days a week we're open for prayer, so that's a blessing. But whether I'm doing it, right before I get up in the morning, right before I go to bed sometimes, but it's really, really important to do it first thing in the morning, is to meditate, to pray, and to sit quietly before God and let Him speak to me, let His Spirit refresh me. It's a thing, and if you continuously practice this, it's going to help you still your thoughts. It's going to help you to be less anxious, have more hope. And I can get into this in other videos, but I want you to practice these three things. I want you to journal down your thoughts. I want you to mind your thoughts by journaling, and by understanding where your negative self-talk is coming from, or who it might be coming from, or what it might be coming from, okay? And then I want you to figure out your blueprint, okay? Write this out and take your time with it. Write out the outcome you desire. What is it that you really, really want? And don't just say, I want a house, I want a better job. No, what is it what does that better job look like? Break it down into what exactly this job looks like. How does this job make you feel? How does this job change aspects of your life for the better? I want you to write all of that out. And then I want you to write out why you want that thing. And then, like I said, you figure out the how. You have a plan of action, actionable steps that you can do to bring that to pass. Because if that's what's going to make you happy, you need to be spending 30 to 40% of your day working on that thing every single day, because that's how we feel empowered. That's how we feel like we're taking back control of our lives. And you won't feel so down, depressed. You won't feel anxious. You won't feel out of control. So writing these things out, meditating on these things, praying about these things, and sitting quietly before God, I think are three things that you can do right now that's going to help you find inner happiness, that help you learn happiness, because happiness is something that is not an outward thing. Happiness is all within, okay? And figuring out what it is that's making you feel unhappy is a great way to find your inner happiness. And spending time in prayer and spending time in meditation and just quietly before God every single day is going to help you to be centered, to be calm, to have peace and think rationally. These things can help you find an inner happiness. This is just three things you can do right now to take you on a journey of inner happiness, healing, and wholeness. You can do these things right now. Happiness is a skill. It's not about having everything you want right now, because even after you have that outcome, you know what I'm saying, that you wanted, the job, the marriage, the kids, there might be something else that, you know, we're always growing. It's human nature to want. So, you know, having something that is a goal is normal. Okay, not having it right now is normal. Okay, but we can't allow what we have or don't have to determine our happiness, and that is the key to happiness. There's a quote from Buddha that says that, you know, there's, you know, the path of life is happiness. You know, so that journey that you're on is where you're going to find your happiness, and looking at it in a way that I can control the outcome. I have a part to play in my own destiny. Feeling empowered, that's going to help that inner calmness, that stillness, that peace and happiness and fulfillment that everybody is looking for. Okay, we just can't allow, if it can't be a thing, a physical thing, it can't be a phone, it can't be a person. That can't be the measure of your happiness, or you're always going to be up and down. You're always going to have that anxiety because, well, if I lose this thing or this person, my happiness is going with them. You don't want that. You want to have an inner stillness and peace within yourself that you can grab a hold to. And managing your thoughts is a way to have that stillness, have that peace at all times, okay? And knowing what you want out of life and going for that thing. Like, being empowered is a skill that leads to happiness. And then, you know, having your time of quietness. I just think that that's just something important for everybody, because we all have so much going on. We have to quiet out the world. We have to spend time alone within ourselves and connect with our spiritual being. I do believe that that's an important part of having inner happiness. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please please comment below. It helps so much with the algorithms of YouTube so that I can help other people as well, that they can get these tips. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I have a lot more videos in store for you guys. Bye. Whenever you're ready, darling. Okay, here we go. This is lovely. Hello, my name is Desiree. Welcome to my channel where I discuss lifestyle, spirituality, and fitness to help you find your health and your happiness. So, the question, okay. Hello, my name is Desiree. Welcome to my channel where I help you to, okay. Hey, my name's Desiree, and my channel